This is It's Only a Clockwork Moon, written and narrated by Billy O'Shea. Chapter 1. There are advantages to not looking like a monk when you're in a drinking establishment, and Christopher Xavier McMurphy looked nothing at all like one. On the contrary, with a stocky build and blue tattooed arms showing beneath his black leather jerkin, he looked like he belonged right there in the tavern. His dark hair had grown out, leaving no trace of a tonsure, though he sometimes unthinkingly swept a hand across his head just to make sure. When he ordered a mug of beer, the barman sized him up with a glance and answered him in Alban. Cheek of the man, thought Brother Christopher. This was an Anglian town, or was meant to be. He ought surely to be able to buy a beer in the Lord's language. Still, at least it must mean he didn't look suspicious. Chapelat, he thanked the barman grumpily when the beer came. Then he continued in Anglian. A friend of mine will be coming in shortly. We have some business to attend to. Will you have one yourself? He pushed a silver coin across the counter. The barman pocketed it. Blind and deaf, me, he said. Brother Christopher took his beer back to his corner table. The courier was late. Christopher did not want to risk taking his typically monkish timepiece out of his pocket, but it must surely be half an hour past the arranged time. He had chosen the tavern carefully, not so central as to be busy at this hour of the afternoon, nor so peripheral that a stranger would stand out among the locals. A little light entered through stained-glass windows, giving the place an oddly chapel-like air. The few other customers present seemed to be engaged in their own very private business. The door opened, admitting a slice of sunlight that revealed a galaxy of dust motes in the air, and a figure entered. But it was only a barefoot peasant woman selling flowers, and the barman shooed her out. I will give him until I hear the nones of St. Kevin's, thought Brother Christopher, but no longer. Shortly afterwards the door opened again, and a small, slender, red-haired young man entered. He was wearing a long cloak despite the warm weather, and looked nervously back and forth among the faces. Brother Christopher stood up, smiled, and extended his hand in the traditional Anglian greeting. What is it? Is there trouble? He asked quietly, still smiling as he grasped the other man's hand. Trouble? No. Oh, then calm down, man. You look like a ferret in a greyhound pen. I'll get you a beer. Actually, I don't, began the man, then caught Christopher's glance. He sat down. Brother Christopher returned from the bar with a mug of porter and placed it in front of the stranger. So, you're Adam, I take it. How was your journey? He asked cheerily. The man looked confused. The journey? It went well, by barge downriver to Torgrimston, and thence on horseback to... And the roads? Interrupted Christopher. Dry, I hope? It was high summer, and it had not rained for a week. Yes, they were quite dry, answered the man. Good, good, said Brother Christopher. But your burden looks heavy, my friend. Why not put it down? My burden? With his eyes, Christopher indicated the sheaf of papers protruding from beneath the man's cloak. Just put it on the table in front of you, said Brother Christopher, still smiling. The young man looked around him almost theatrically as he brought out the papers. Christopher resisted the urge to cast his eyes up to heaven. Excellent, thank you, he said, taking the documents and putting them into his leather satchel. Now, let us drink up like old pals. When we leave, we will say goodbye outside. Then you go to the left, and I will go to the right. You have your transport arranged. The red-haired man nodded. I have a man and horses at St. Thomas Gate. Good man. Christopher smiled and raised his beer. As he did so, he glanced over towards the bar. The barman was nowhere to be seen. Christopher drained the mug, got up, and walked across the room. Barkeep, we're dry. No one appeared from the back room. Christopher craned his neck to look inside. The room was empty. He swung around and strode rapidly back to the table. Get up. We must go. Now. Christopher pulled the bewildered man to his feet and
Sample complete. Ready to continue?